you hit some type of rush hour, if it's either in the evening or it's if it's in the morning. So we started looking for a place closer to this airport, so she doesn't have to do the most driving. I can handle the more driving. I can do the hour drive because it never bothered me. You know, I don't know if you guys have followed me on my other YouTube channels. We do a lot of road trips, so it doesn't bother me. I've always said that driving for me is like kind of a therapy. But after we started living here, and I had to drive to Fort Lauderdale Airport. You know, it wasn't much at the beginning because I had the 8 o'clock in the morning start shift. So I used to leave the house I didn't have to leave 2 hours ahead. And yeah, towards the end, I ended up putting in for a transfer to this airport, which is where I'm at now. I work in we both work in the West Palm Beach airport. This is the first time I see Highway I-95 in the last month. Because from where we live, we just get on the main road, go down 2 blocks, take a left on another road, and that road takes us straight to the airport. Right. You know, local traffic is never heavy, and it takes us 15 minutes and 19 minutes tops to get to the airport. Good traffic. When it comes to the airport itself, compared to Orlando where I started working, and then Fort Lauderdale where I first transferred, I had to take a employee shuttle from the employee parking lot to the terminal. Here, from the employee lot, when you get out of your car, you walk into the terminal. It's a 5-minute walk from your car to be inside the building. You know, that's a win.
It's a total like a 10-minute walk from where we park the car to where we have to punch in. Because we have to go inside the terminal and then through the back. I used to work in Miami, and that was not good. But I learned how to catch the train, and I used to catch the train from the house over there in Pompano to Miami, and it wasn't that bad because then I got a good schedule at the end of my time there. The best station that I've worked at so far that I love is West Palm Beach, and we moved closer to work.
What has been the difference between all the stations? Where did you start, and where did you jump, and where did you end up, and what's the difference between all the stations that you were?
So I started in Miami. I actually was not going to work for Southwest Airlines. I was case manager in a place called Camilla's House in Miami, and it was a really nice job. I was helping the homeless find their homes and stuff like that, and I was, doing that. That was part of my life. So I went to this fair, and I'm gonna start from the beginning because it's really interesting to me. I went to this fair to go cheer on my son, so he can work for Southwest Airlines. You know, he's a young guy, he's smart, and I've always had good reviews by this guy right here because he's been working with the company for almost 18 years, so he's always talked good things about the company. So, and I've been around him.
Parentheses, things are changing, but that's another story.
And I've been around this guy about 13 years, and in the 13 years, I've experienced things traveling with him and doing things with him that have been good, right? So in 2019, I applied for Southwest Airlines. I got the job, but it was sad to say that I didn't walk in through the doors because I had made a mistake and I put in the wrong date for one of my jobs, and they disqualified me. But anyway, moving forward to the future, in 2022, they had a fair in Fort Lauderdale, and I didn't go for myself. I just went to cheer on my son because I wanted to, root him on, give him a little bit of customer service ideas and stuff like that, just to be by his side. I'm his mom. I want to be his, his cheerleader, number one cheerleader, right? Okay. So I go with him over there to this fair, and there's thousands and thousands of people. I'm like, OMG, I just pray my son gets the job. This guy comes up to me, a recruiter out of nowhere. He's like, hey, what are you standing over there for? And I'm like, oh, I'm just here for my son, blase, blase. He's like, why not gonna do it. I have a job. I'm good. He's like, come on, try it out. You know, we're looking for people. You look like a great match. This, that. Anyways, he convinced me. So I applied for the job, and I went to the first interviewer lady. Her and I sat there for literally 35 minutes just talking. And we went on to my experience, blah, blah, blah. The next thing you know, they sent me to another room. Guess who's in the other room? The second room, that means that you got hired. The second room is to get your information, and they test you right away for drugs and alcohol, everything right there. So you have no chance for people to say, I don't do this and that, because they tested people then and there. Guess who was in the other room? My son.
Yeah.
That was the most amazing feeling I've ever had in my entire life, because I wasn't even happy for myself. I was happy to see that he was in that second room, which meant that he moved forward.
Well, having the experience of, imagine applying for a good job, like an amazing job that can give you great benefits, and you and your son or daughter are getting hired together for the same job.
For the same job at the same time.
That must be a good feeling. My son also works for our airline, work with Southwest Airlines, and he works on a different department. I'm a ramp, so I touch your luggage, I put it in the plane, I take it out of the plane, I'll do the physical stuff. Susie does, the customer service, load the passengers, I load the bags. My son takes care of the cargo, which is boxes and, whatever people ship from the cargo facility from one state to another state. So that's what he does.
Okay, so he totally interrupted me, but that's okay. He always says
that's what I do.
That's normal. And I just lost my train of thought. Anyways, we were there. I saw my son in that second room, and I was really excited. I was more excited because he got hired. And so he got hired to work in Fort Lauderdale. I got hired to work in Miami. He was hired as a ramper. I was hired as an operations agent, dealing with people upstairs, which is what I'm used to. I'm used to working with the community. Great. I was we went to our training. We went to our training in Dallas, and we went together. We had the same hire date. It was an amazing experience. So I got to Miami. I've never done airline stuff before, so it's they train you how to use the computer and stuff like that. People cannot train you for customer service. People cannot train you for personality. They do train you for the computers and stuff like that, for you to learn the system. So I went to Miami. After I was there in Miami, they sent us to Atlanta for training. So I was able to experience Miami. I was talking about Miami. I was talking about how when I started with Southwest Airlines, I was stationed in Miami, and I was able to go train in Atlanta. When I came back from my training after a month or two, it was like 2 months in, I was able to go what they call temping into Austin, Texas. So now I'm in Miami, now I'm in Atlanta, and now I've been to Austin, Texas in less than 6 months. So I experienced those 3 stations while working in Miami.
Which, by the way, excuse the interruption, years ago, during the 6-month probation period that every employee has, you have to pass to 6-month probation without having any disciplinary actions, like being absent, being late, getting written up, none of that. If that happens once, during 6 months, you get fired automatically.
They still do that, but I didn't get that. And I was able to go to these different spots.
But that was my point. My point. I was gonna say that before, years ago, during the 6 month,
they wouldn't
allow you to go temping, and she was fortunate that during this time, it was obviously she got hired after COVID. They actually allowed her to go temping before the 6-month probation was up.
Right. A lot of people were, I don't want to say jealous, but a lot of people were negative about me. Oh, you're going to get fired. You're on probation. Blase. 3 years, I'm still here. Thank God, knock on wood. Praise the Lord. I praise and bless my job. So, and I think that it just depends on the person and the way they work and the way they want to learn. So I was fortunate to have that opportunity to be able to work in a station, train in another station, and go temping, which is covering that station for the employees that they needed to cover the work. Temping, you go to another station, you stay there. They actually paid for our hotel and our food, which were great perks, because it was amazing. I'm starting this new job I've never been at, and all these amazing perks was great. So from those 3 stations, my favorite was Austin, and I learned a little bit there, a little bit more than I had learned in Miami, because in Miami I wasn't really trained. Remember, they sent me out to Atlanta to train, and it's really fast paced. I mean, when I mean fast paced, Atlanta is really busy. So
big airport.
It's a really big airport. I like the atmosphere. I like the people that were there, but it was just really complicated for me because I've never done airport work in that sense. Not the customer service part, not the taking care of people part. It was just the software and learning how to use it. There's a lot of things to learn, and I'm still learning. I still ask a tons of questions about things that might sound tedious to other people, but it's a learning experience. When I came back from Miami, I turned 6 months.
From Austin.
When I came back from Austin, sorry. I turned 6 months in Miami. And after you're with the company 6 months, even after your 6 months probation, or maybe that was then, I don't know if they still do that, and you gotta wait a year now. But as soon as I turned my 6 months in Miami, I asked for a transfer to Raleigh, North Carolina. And am I right, or was it a year? Did I have to wait a year?
No, after 6 months you could ask for a transfer. Yeah.
Even when I was just finishing my probation?
Yeah.
Okay, so it was 6 months. So I headed out to Raleigh, North Carolina, and that station was really nice. The people there are nice. I had a good experience. I learned a lot with the ops agents there. They were really friendly. It is what it is. It's a job.
They're busy too.
It's a
Raleigh.
we have 9 gates in Raleigh, so it was pretty busy. There was a lot of learning points there too. It has its ups and downs like everywhere else. It was a little challenging, not as challenging as Miami. Miami atmosphere, just Miami, is like how can I say it nicely? It's challenging.
Yeah.
Miami, the city and the people and the culture. The culture is different.
It's a different monster.
Yeah, it's a different culture. So
and it was
Raleigh, North Carolina.
She used to tell me the headache that she used to get just by getting to work.
Going to work.
If she ever had to drive, it was hell. It was a 2-hour
drive
ride in the car, even though she was only 35 minutes away.
40 minutes.
It was a 2-hour ride. Watching out for everybody else driving, bumper to bumper, whatnot. So she started doing the Tri-Rail, which is the local train that goes, stops different stations on the I-95 corridor, but it actually stops at the train station in the Miami airport, and then from there you get on a train shuttle. They call it the People Mover to get you into the terminal, and then you just walk to work. She was doing that for a while, but even doing that, she used to complain of how stressful it was.
Right, it was just really stressful, and then I had to walk another about 10-15 minutes to the clock, which wasn't bad because because that was my 10-15 minute exercise walk every day. I didn't complain about that. It was just getting there, and then the atmosphere of the people, and you know, it was just another ball game. Anyway, moving forward, I'm in Raleigh, North Carolina. The atmosphere is way different. People are southern. They have the southern charm, and I really liked it. The only thing I didn't like, it was that I wasn't home. I was staying with my sister for that little bit, and I missed my house and I missed my privacy, and it was just not where I felt 100% happy. And so I came back. I transferred out of North Carolina, and I put in for Fort Lauderdale, and I put in for West Palm Beach. And for 3 weeks in a row, Fort Lauderdale had me number one, which was where I initially wanted to go to because it was closer to home. And for those 3 weeks, somebody with more seniority than I was accepted. So finally, the 4th week came in. So this was a whole month of me trying to get into.
At the last minute, this person just put the name on the transfer list, and they ended up above you.
The same day that they were opening the book, somebody that had more seniority than me would put their name in the book.
And bumped her.
And bumped me off.
Yeah.
After me waiting a whole week of looking at the computer every single day. I'm like, I'm number one, I'm calling in, I'm getting emails, I'm number one, I'm great, I'm going to get in. Next thing you know, I get a call. Hey, you're going back to Florida. I'm like, yay, finally. So I go talk to the station manager. He's like, congratulations, you're going back home. That's great, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, great. He goes, but did you hear where you're going? And I said, yeah, I'm going home. I'm going to Fort Lauderdale. He goes, no, you're going to West Palm Beach. I said, what? Well, I guess it's going to get me closer to my home. I guess I'm going to have to go to West Palm Beach. Well, guys, guess what? I lived an hour and a half away from West Palm Beach. So guess where Susie's going to go to work? An hour and a half drive every day. But I love my station. I thank God every single day that I had to go through that. I went through that for a whole year. I had to drive to work. I had great co-workers that covered for me days that I didn't feel good or I wanted to give them away. We have something that's called LWOP in our company, which I never had heard before, which is leave without pay. And if they are fully staffed, they will allow you to leave early or not come in. You have to call that day and say, hey, are you guys fully staffed? Am I available? Is there any LWOP available for me not to go to work today? And that worked out with that. And a lot of my coworkers would pick up my hours, which you can give your hours away to them as long as they're not in schedule. So I am here in West Palm Beach, and I am staying here because I love it. This is the best place to be. The station manager, she is amazing. I love her. God bless her. And my coworkers are awesome. Everyone is really nice. You know, it is a work environment. There's always going to be, it's up and down days. We're always going to have, always going to make somebody happy. Somebody's, going to not be happy. Somebody's going to be happy. It's work.
By the same token, I actually ended up also in West Palm Beach because
we got a house.
We ended up, because of the driving. Remember, I used to work in Fort Lauderdale. We had an apartment in Pompano Beach when she was in North Carolina. So I drive, for 20 minutes to work to the Fort Lauderdale airport from the apartment that we had. So when she came back to Florida, to West Palm Beach airport, from our apartment, it was an hour plus for her to drive and working the night shift. So working 3 to 11, 3 to 12, 2 to 11, whatever it may be. And because of what she explained, this station, it's the work environment, it's more kind of it's different. It's not a whole lot of flights. It's a little bit more relaxed environment, and the LWAP, leave without pay, as she was explaining. There was a lot of that. So whenever it was available, who wants to go home? Obviously, she jumped she jumped on that train and say, "I'll take the LWAP," meaning not getting paid, but don't have to stay to drive home at 11, 12 o'clock at night. For an hour plus on I-95 back south to Pompano Beach, where we had the apartment. So she was losing so much pay because she was always taking the LWAP. She wanted to get an apartment closer to West Palm Beach, which is the airport that she's working at now. So we started doing that. We started getting looking for a place, and we found a house 15 minutes south from the West Palm Beach airport. We moved there, so now great. She has a 17-minute drive to work. I, on the other hand, have an hour plus drive to Fort Lauderdale. Remember, I'm still working for Lauderdale. I did that for, I want to say, a couple of months. She had said, "Why don't you put a transfer? Why don't you put a transfer?" I said, "I like the station. I like the people, and we always go on vacation. We always go cruising. We do that." And I think having a work environment where there's a lot of employees, there's a lot more opportunities for to get my hours picked up by another employee, compared to a small station, which is West Palm Beach, and I don't have that many options of people picking up my hours. So I would be free from work and go on a cruise or whatever. Number one reason why I didn't want to put in for the transfer. So I was taking the drive, I was taking the traffic, and I was paying toll because I would take the turnpike. And after 2 months, then started getting to me. So I don't know exactly the amount of time, how long after we moved to the new place, I decided, okay, you know what, I'm gonna try it out. I'm gonna put in. I knew once I got out of Fort Lauderdale, I was not going back, because obviously Fort Lauderdale is on a higher freeze. They're not, the airport, it's on a reconstruction of one of the runways, plus they're building a Terminal 5. So they're actually, all the airlines are actually limited to how many flights a day they're gonna do. So Southwest went down on a flight a day out of Fort Lauderdale, which made the station overstaffed in personnel. So anybody that left the station would not be able to come back because they're overstaffed. So I know if I didn't want to stay in West Palm Beach, I would have to go somewhere else. But I put the transfer, I got it, I got accepted. So
here we are.
I started working in West Palm Beach. I got my badge, I got fingerprinted, and I already know most of the people there. I'm getting acquainted. It's a different procedure, or the way they do things. Is a smaller station, but so far no complaints. The drive, we don't have to deal with 95 or the turnpike, so we don't have to get on an employee shuttle to go from the employee lot to the terminal. It's relaxed. It's relaxed. I'm actually, the only thing that it's new, it's that I have to get acquainted with new people. I have to make new friends. I still got friends, co-workers from Orlando, the station where I started, and Fort Lauderdale, the second station that I was just working at. So I'm just getting used to the people and the work, but no complaints.
It's a little bit of a difference for you, because you're not assigned to a particular job every month. It changes by the day.
The Orlando station and the Fort Lauderdale station, the way they make their schedules, because there's so many gates, there's so many flights, and there's so many people. They everyone is assigned one job for the day. So when you choose what you want to work, you would choose one position, and that's gonna be your position for the whole bit. Here in West Palm Beach, you literally have to do a little bit of everything. So it's been many years. We are actually at the beach and we're waiting for the light, and we're trying to find a parking spot.
There's one
there.
parking spot, so hopefully it'll be
And,
there.
well, I believe that covers up a little bit of
The moon.
everything about the story of how she ended up in West Palm Beach and how I ended up in West Palm Beach. So
It's a good story.
I hope you enjoyed it. Any questions, ask them in the comments. We will read them and answer whatever we can. And please don't forget to click like, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel, click subscribe. I know I just started this channel, but I want to grow it, and I work a lot. We work a lot. Every time I get a chance, I'll try to make a vlog, a video about anything. I know it's hard to post a video on the daily, but maybe once a week, I'll put a bunch of stuff together and edit a video for you guys, and it also stays in YouTube as a reminder of our life. So thank you for watching. Like I said, click like, click subscribe, leave a comment, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.